Hello there! In this video I'm looking at Obi-Wan versus Lord Maul. Hello AOS fans, Robin here, back with another Shatterpoint video for you. This is going to have to be really quick because due to loads of technical issues where I had an hour or so to record this video, I've now got about 20 minutes. So it's going to be a very quick rustle stop. So it's going to be a very quick whistle stop tour of Obi-Wan versus Maul. With both that Obi-Wan was spoiled this week in the transmissions, and I think Maul was spoiled the week before. So now we have two of the greatest adversaries in the franchise. Interestingly, that originally that animosity kind of ceased when Obi-Wan cut his legs off and apparently killed Maul. But of course, in the Clone Wars, for those of you who watch the Clone Wars and read around it, Maul comes back. Not the first time, or indeed not the last time. Strange returns have happened in the Star Wars universe, but Obi-Wan and Maul therefore are great adversaries. Maul hates Obi-Wan for defeating him and devouring his legs, and of course Obi-Wan hates Maul for his Sithiness, and of course he killed Qui-Gon Jinn. So let's have a look at these two against each other on the table. Obi-Wan, as we know, isn't in the core box. He is going to be in the new Hello There box. So you have to buy that separately to get this Obi-Wan, and there's going to be a new version of Obi-Wan in the, I can't remember what it's called, but the new Scenic box set. Well, I've forgotten what it is and I haven't got time to look it up. Yes, there's a new version of Obi-Wan. We haven't seen that version. This is the version in the Hello There box set. This is General Obi-Wan Kenobi. Both fighters are 8 squad points and 3 force points, so they bring the same to the table in that respect. Maul is the first primary we've seen with a durability of only 2. He does have a stamina of 11, but effectively only has 22 hit points, whereas Obi-Wan, who's got a stamina of 10, effectively has 30 because he's got a durability of 3. So I think we'll see as we go forward, the reason for that is that Maul can use hit points to gain force points, and I think if he had a durability of 3, you'd be able to use that for too long in the game and swing it. I think it's meant to show how Maul basically is, he wants to burn out rather than fade away. He's going to make his mark. He's barely controlled rage across the tabletop. He kind of comes out in this durability of 2. Obi-Wan generally epitomises slow and steady wins the race. So they're interesting yin and yang there, juxtaposed against one another. Who will win out on the tabletop, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure there's going to be some great shenanigans and great battles between people when they play these on the tabletop. They both have a 1-cost active ability. Maul has force speed to do a move, so it's literally each character in his unit can move. Obi-Wan's Hello There ability is potentially stronger. It's a jump, but if jumping into combat, he can add 3 dice to his next attack roll, which is pretty good. I like that. Maul, however, has an additional 2-cost power that Obi-Wan just doesn't have. It's called There Is No Place to Run. This enables Maul to pull a character within range 3, range 2 towards them. So within range 3, pull them to range 2, and that also gives the fighter exposed, which, if you remember, discounts defensive dice in the next defensive expertise. In the next dice roll. So if you get any expertise rolls, they're wasted. So their reactive abilities are the antithesis of each other. Obi-Wan preaches patience. Maul must have revenge. So for Obi-Wan's patience, this allows him to manipulate the order deck. It's the first manipulation of the order deck we've seen. So when you draw Obi-Wan, assuming you've already put a card in reserve, you can swap Obi-Wan into that reserve and heal him 3 and then make a jump, which is pretty strong, which is good for later in the game for that healing Obi-Wan after he's been injured. Probably first turn, you're not so worried about it. And then because you've just put him in reserve, you could then actually use him next time. So you're kind of delaying a turn of using Obi-Wan, which means your opponent might try and get Obi-Wan out of position because they know he's coming, but it's still a pretty strong ability, I think, and a good way of just manipulating that order deck a little bit in your favour. Revenge, Maul's Revenge is essentially a free 5 dice melee attack when Maul takes damage, and then a dash to help you get into position as well. It's only against the fighter that did damage to him. So if somebody shoots him, you can't go off and hit somebody else, but you can hit the guy who hurt you. Ahsoka has a very similar ability, if you remember, but she uses it when her allies are attacked. So again, it nicely juxtaposes the difference between Maul and Ahsoka. Their identity abilities, I think, are fascinating. Maul's allows him to burn bright before leaving the tabletop. If he's not wounded, he can choose to wound himself instead of using force points, pretty strong. So you might consider using a force point, doing force speed up the table, then make a move, and then you're still not in range, but you can use wound yourself for 2, use there is no place to run and pull a fighter towards you. It's really quite strong. If you've already taken some damage, this dovetails nicely as well, because for every 3 wound takers he has a melee dice. And then if he's on the injured side, he has 3 dice. Yeah, if he is injured and he's taken 3 or more wounds, for every 3 wounds the unit has, he can add 1 dice to his attack, to his melee rolls, and then for every injured token he adds 3 dice to their attack roll. So it's really quite strong. As Maul gets more and more injured, he gets more and more dice, which, if you look at his stance cards, which we'll do in a minute, can translate into more and more damage. Obi-Wan's knowledge and defense, on the other hand, allows for everybody to keep hunker tokens when they're engaged in combat. This gives them additional cover, even against melee attacks. If he then it gets even better, as after a unit with hunker tokens has been attacked, they can remove them to heal 1, and then any character that did heal can then make a dash action. So you've got some ability there, given away, I guess, given by the calming influence, if you like, of General Kenobi. So it's really good for, if you're under the cosh, you can still improve your position on the board while you're being attacked. I really like that kind of, I guess you're getting a sense of Kenobi's tactical acumen there. Looking at the stance cards, the first thing I noticed on the Sinister Cunning side of Maul's card is that he's got a range attack. He's the first kind of Jedi type character, force using character we've seen who's got a ranged attack. I think it's the only primary that has one so far. And it's a 7 dice ranged attack as well, so it's pretty strong. So if he had taken some damage and he was using his sustained by rage ability, he can have some serious dice. He's got 6 pips on his combat tree, so he might want to be rolling dice. He's got 6 dice on his melee attack, and both he and Obi-Wan have 6 defense dice for either melee or ranged. He can actually do on the Sinister Cunning side up to 10 damage. I think both tracks he'd actually do 10 damage. Whatever he is, his first 2 pips deal 4 damage on the Sinister Cunning side, and give him the opportunity to shove an opponent and then reposition Maul, which is really strong. Later in the track, he has access to a bit of heal, which could probably be very useful considering how fragile he is. You're probably going to want to try and keep him alive for as long as you can, so you can deal out damage. The expertise track does a lot of offensive damage. It involves the subtlety of the combat tree. You don't have to worry about getting extra support. I mean, you do get some extra successes, but you also get extra damage. Straight in, bang, extra damage. Can't be blocked by defenses or anything. It is just straight up, out and out damage. So as well as that damage, most of his successes are critical successes on his combat tree, and defensively, most of the time, he's going to be offering up 2 block. Obi-Wan's most offensive stance, I think, is the Form 3 Ataru. It only has 5 and 6 pip tracks. But he still uses 7 melee dice. He can theoretically do 9 damage, and taking this track will also add to an array of pushes, exposes, disarms and pin conditions. Pinned is where it means you can't move until it tries to, then loses that kind of move. Force speed is quite good with that, because you can knock that pin condition off without actually using up an action. The expertise track is significantly less than Maul's, offering a muted mix of successes and crit successes. Defensively, he's always likely to be able to convert 1 crit success to a blockable success. Maul's Dark Tree offers a squatter. Maul's Dark Rage side offers a squatter tree, although it does still have a 6 pip option. And you've got less defense going on there. This is mainly all about power, as you'd expect for a stance that's called Dark Rage. It has 7 attack dice, no rage capability, but 3 successes will net 5 damage, and either a bleed or a shove. Indeed, it is possible to get 3 shoves off this stance. If you want to move people around the board, this is the stance to use. Interestingly, the attack expertise chart is the same for both of Maul's stances. For his defensive expertise on this chart, it potentially offers the chance for some healing, though you do need at least 3 expertise on 5 dice, which is not that likely. If you can heal, you also get to jump 2 though. It feels to me that Dark Rage will be used when you absolutely have to take somebody down or shove them away from the danger area. Obi-Wan's Form 3 Soresu is a very compact combat tree, only requiring 4 successes to traverse it. That said, he only has 5 attack dice. This form gives him 6 defense dice in melee, however. So I think this side is for when Obi-Wan wants to conserve health, though it can still deal 4 damage out of the blocks, but it also only needs 1 success to heal himself 1. 3 successes gives him access to 3 healing or more damage and a disarm. If you do get access that far, the card can give you a jump, shove or reposition, which is very nice for consolidating your position. His expert trees track is very solid, with extra successes for both defense and offense. As we might expect then, Maul offers raw power on the board. He's got a seriously wrecked face for people who play him, who will then be hoping that their other forces can mop up the objectives of the aftermath. So you're kind of charging Maul in, trying to take out as much as you possibly can, causing as much chaos as absolutely possible, and then the rest of the forces, I think, come in and in his wake mop up the objectives. Obi-Wan fittingly looks like a hard counter to Maul. It'll be great to see how they fare against one another on the tabletop. Maul, with the right dice, could smash Obi-Wan off the board, but the canny Jedi may well be able to hold him at arm's length and whittle the fragile former Sith down. Can't wait to see how that tries out on the tabletop. I've just about squeezed this in into 20 minutes of recording time. It'll be a little bit less for you guys when you watch it. Thank you for watching. Sorry it was a bit rushed. I do hope you've enjoyed this content. Do let me know what you want to see. There's loads of people out there with boxes now. AMG seem to have sent them to just about everybody in the world apart from me. I'm really excited to figure that I know loads of people play games on Tabletop Simulator, lots of people have played it, so I do really appreciate you watching me who still hasn't played the game. If you have watched this far, do give me a like and subscribe, commenting below if you have seen a copy, what you're looking at, which of the many expansions that they've announced you're gonna come and get. Let me know, and we'll see you soon somewhere on the Agents of Sigmar. Bye for now. Bye!